So back in June of 2018, just about a year after good friend and bandmate of Mike Shinoda, Chester Bennington, passed away, Shinoda decided to release a solo album for the first time ever. Not one under the Fort Minor moniker, not one with Linkin Park, but as Mike Shinoda called Post Traumatic. It was 16 tracks with, some breathtaking songs, a great rap album. And this time, here in 2020, he decides to drop an album called Dropped Frames Volume 1. Now, it kind of came to the surprise of some, because in the end, I didn't really think he was going to make another debut album, maybe some singles here and there. But it's an interesting one, and I'm here to tell you about it right now.
She is a fucking...
So by the name of the title, Drop Frames Volume 1, I would assume that he's expecting to do this again, as this whole entire album was created via Twitch livestream with fan suggestions of what these songs should sound like, what kind of twist should he put on these songs, and he would stream the making of these songs live on Twitch. And now here they are, 12 songs, 11 of them instrumentals is the only track that features any lyrics, aside from the last track, which we'll talk about that later down the line. But Open Door definitely does a good job kicking this thing off. Like I said, it's the only one where you hear Mike's vocals, or just really vocals of any kind. It feels like a Mike Shinoda song. He goes hard on the verses. The chorus could be a little bit better in this sense, but it's not anything bad that really turns you off from the song. You're definitely still wanting to keep listening throughout its whole 3 minutes and 6-second runtime. And then after that, you just kind of let the instrumentals kick in. This kind of feels like a score for some sort of movie, which also Mike Shinoda has done plenty of times before as well. Some of my favorites after Open Door have to be Super Galactica, Duckbot, which is just, I love the way the synths get played with there, Cupcake Cake, El Rey Demonio, which, can I just say, can he please put lyrics to this song? Like, if there's ever a song that deserved to have lyrics with it, with a beat like this, it is this song. This was one of my favorite beats throughout the entire album. I mean, I was just blown away. Osiris, which was one of the 3 released on the Open Door EP, along with Open Door and Super Galactica. Babble, Bobble, which was a nice one. But my favorite track, overall, had to be Neon Crickets. I don't know what it is about it, but it was one of those songs that it actually feels like it can be used as like a new school Linkin Parks song. It had those like raunchy guitars in there with the drums in there, and a nice beat that goes along with it, and you can definitely just picture Linkin Park doing this song as a band, and it was, I don't know, it just made it one of my favorites. 2 songs I found okay, but nothing spectacular, were Channeling Part 1, which that had the only feature, or at least credited feature, on the album. That was Don Mayo, who obviously doesn't have vocals. He does his thing behind, the synths and all this kind of stuff. And also, once again, the name of this song, I would assume that if he is going to make a sequel to this album, that we will see the sequel to this song on the next album. I mean, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what he's planning. I think he's still doing the Twitch live streams where he's creating other songs, so who knows at this point. And Session McSessionface was okay. It had its ups and downs. Like, there was a lot of times where I was like, okay, I'm bored with this, and then it would pick itself up and definitely do something, but it was just a very mixed song in my opinion, to where I didn't necessarily have a full opinion of it. It was just like, meh, it could be decent background music, but that is basically about it. It's not one that I'm going to swarm back to. And the 2 I found to be my least, Doodle Buzz, which wasn't horrible, I just don't know, I didn't feel the vibe with it as I did with other songs. And then there's the 57-second track finisher, Booty Down, which just feels like a snippet of like an older Black Eyed Peas song from 2009, as the guy singing sounds a lot like will.i.am, and it has that kind of Black Eyed Peas beat that they would use back in the day, the whole popular like techno beat kind of thing. It was weird hearing that, considering that was the only other songs that had like actual like lyrics, which is basically just booty down, booty down, booty down until you get to the end and you just hear a quick hot, and then the album ends, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that one even making the album overall. Like, even if you put it somewhere else other than the end, it's just kind of like all that great work that was put in front of it only to end on that note. I was kind of weirded out and disappointed at that. But, you know, instrumental albums to me are just one of those ones that have to appeal to me from beginning to end. It's very hard for me to get into just instrumentals. But, you know, it's 12 tracks, and a lot of these songs are short. Nothing passes a 4-minute mark, and you even get a couple of, like, 2.5-minute songs, a couple under 2 minutes. It's basically what you want it to be from what you would expect from an instrumental album. Just quick, simple, and having instrumentals that really keep you in it overall.
She is a fucking...
So since this counted as a full-length studio album, I'm sticking with my rating out of 10 for this thing, and Mike Shinoda's second effort, his sophomore effort, which is, again, a lot different from his debut effort, but, you know, again, he said he felt like these songs didn't need lyrics attached to them other than Open Door in this case. Yeah, for an instrumental album, very, very nicely put together. 7.5 out of 10. Would recommend a listen, at least if you want to, other than Open Door, if you want to get some of that like background music going for you, or just some of that eeriness, you know, you want to hear that or use that for something, you know, that could be well put together in some way. But yeah, that's basically what I think about this thing. You guys can tell me in the comments below, what do you think if you have heard this album? And if you did listen to this album, did you like it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite, your least favorite songs from the album? But until then, I will be on a short break for a little while, so don't expect videos of anything. If like a big news story pops up or a track comes out, whatever, I will be taking a little family vacation in Ocean City. So by the time you're watching this video, I will already be there. But stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.